It's ironic that the film you saw last night, while you were watching it, they put a cap in his head and fired him. He's gone. He's the best I ever produced. So where does that leave you? Shitbags. If he's the best I ever produced, and they put a bullet in his head. And who put a bullet in his fucking head? The board. Where does that leave you? In bad stead. Irony. Fake that you watched it last night. While they were cutting his throat. Truth is stranger than fiction. They snuck up on him and cut his fucking throat. So
he's probably got another option. He's got all.
Yeah, well, but see, you're sounding like a mother now. Oh, well, not interested in that.
Are you going to tell him to do roll-ups now?
I'm going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him anything. Irony. Well, you're slappy fucking happy watching this shit. Somebody's sawing his head off. What are the takeaways from the film?
No distance of removal. You have to install your vision and DNA in the company, set out the rules on how things need to go.
Yeah, all those things. The DNA starts at the top with the founders. He wasn't the founder because, I mean, that company was founded 150 years ago, but what else?
You could teach someone.
Go ahead, Sean.
You could teach someone to build a boat by giving them the engineering of the wood, or telling them stories about traveling the sea and going to faraway lands.
Story, management by storying around, which we've already talked about. How Grazos did to me, and not just me, but many, many other people. People remember stories a lot better than lists or tips, as the kids now call it. It was interesting yesterday on Facebook, Gary V, a guy who I don't know, but had a very interesting soundbite defending the little guys because some of them apparently had emailed him the snide remarks from the also-rans, you know, the snippets, the faceless people that make fun of the things that when you're trying to make progress in life. And so he got very pissed off, and he did a 2-minute ranting and raving about how despicable it was. And if you want somebody to pick on, email him instead. But what I didn't realize, and apparently he's closer to the humanity than I am, that a lot of the kids actually give up when they're ridiculed on social media about they're going to go out and start a company, or they're going to go out and do this, they're going to go out and do that. I had never focused on that. It never dawned on me that just because some fucking moron from Wisconsin tells you that you loser, that you're going to stop chasing your dream. But of course, I did talk about social media bullying yesterday, the day before, and how apparently it affects people. And I mean, it affects people so much, some people commit suicide over it, which is, I can't even fathom that. But of course, I can't fathom a lot of shit that happens today because of the lack of self-esteem, the lack of self-worth, the lack of self-confidence. And Sally says, and I've been calling a lot of things, but I'm fucking not naive. She says, you're naive to the insecurities of humanity in the 21st century, Dan. Even though I say that political correctness is a manifestation of a lack of self-esteem. I know that. But I don't know that because somebody says that your ass is too big or your tits are too small that you're going to fucking kill yourself. I don't understand that part. And I never will, even though I've been coaching kids for almost 24 years. But so Gary Vee got up and he gave an impassioned 2 minutes. All made sense. He was right on point, every fucking thing he said. But I didn't understand it, that the naysayers had such a overwhelming effect on the kids. I just, again, of course, up until Brian Rose, I didn't think social media was good for anything other than wiping your ass. It's a little better than that. Remember, I use my right hand, just for everybody that, you might put that in Wikipedia. Dan uses the right hand to wipe his ass. But what else about the video? It's irony that you were watching it when they come in and killing them like Caesar. All the senators. So then they couldn't blame one senator because they all stabbed him. Hasn't changed much, has it? Same problems, same challenges, except Caesar was wearing robes. What else about Herr Professor Dr. Kleinfeld?
Task and time management is essential for the growth of the company.
Yep, I mean, he's one of the paramount, great time management guys that has ever come through me, and that's one of his fortes. But when I tell you the boards, I mean, it's just it's astonishing to me that not everybody in the room, but almost everybody that comes out of the program underestimates how vulnerable they are. Underestimates. And I was saying about social media, and 3 years ago when I was on, Brian Rose first interviewed me for London Real, and it opened up new vistas, to me, and a newfound popularity, if you will, for what I have to say, and then those interviews, and then I did about 25 podcasts. As soon as I figured it out, as soon as I know something works, I get on it like a fucking $5 hooker. I did 25 podcasts in about 15 months, and then I started 2 or 3 of my own, and then I did London Real a couple more times, and then, of course, more recently I did Joe Rogan. Because when something works, kids, remember I told you, it's momentum. It's hard to start. But once you get the flywheel going, I mean, you jump on it like a stink on a June bug. I mean, you just, until the legs fall off. And where's Philo? And if I told you, you're going to jump on him until you wear him down to his hips. That fucking picture. You're going to, I want that motherfucker to go viral. Yeah. Oh, well, Klaus came, it'll be just about 4 years ago, right this time, because ostensibly that was my last seminar. And so he graciously talked to the group. But again, I want to thank Brian for getting me, exposing me first to social media. And it was Easter week, which is right about now, 2014. Any other questions about the film? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, he's an excellent speaker. He's smooth, and he's not like me at all. He's not like me at all. He's a Henry Kissinger. He's maybe his next job he's going to be the head of the NATO or something. But that's where he's coming from. That's his personality. Because remember, 98% of all the high performance people are not like me. They're more human than me. Yeah, you were going to say something, Sean?
I know you're a big proponent of only having a few people report to you.
Yes, 22.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if they are high performance, like you said, are you still
No, I still don't like that. Now, I would say, although he never told me this, the reason why he has 22 because he can't find a superhuman 4 or 5. He never said that. That's just my guess. I don't know if it's true or not. We never discussed it. Yeah, but he meets with his directs twice a week. He has the reporting twice a week. If I remember correctly, it's Tuesday and Friday. The reporting system that he uses, you're going to get a copy and a template. And he uses basically a military format that has been around since World War II, which is the same format that I use, and it's the same format that you're going to do your weekly reporting on. Anything else about that? Anything else about anything? Any questions? Sally begged me not to turn off the hot water this morning, but because I wasn't kidding you. I wasn't kidding. In the military, when one guy fucks up, the whole unit suffers. So then they take him and they give him a blanket party. They beat him bloody, and then he doesn't fuck up anymore. And then when you fuck up, everybody suffers. That'll be 1,000,000 push-ups, 500 miles on your belly, no hot water, no coffee. Taking somebody's coffee away in the military is a big fucking deal. No coffee. Coffee is considered a luxury. Coffee is for closers. And somebody's going to ask me something today, and then there'll be no hot water tomorrow. But that's life. That's real life. That's the reality that you guys have never experienced because you've lived a bubble-wrapped life. You never thought that you, in a unit like this, that's why I don't like them to be called boot camps, a unit like this, you don't know that you're responsible for his stupidity as well as your own. Pretty soon, who's the 1 meal a day guy? Oh, yeah. 1 meal or no meals. And it has an indelible effect on you. You never forget. And next time somebody tells you to read all the fucking material before you get here, you'll read it. And that's how you've gone through life, and not just you, but the YouTubers. You have not been held accountable. And if you're not held accountable, you don't take it serious. It's like when President Obama said, if he goes over this line back in 2013, we're going to do this, this, and that to Syria. Great Britain sent troops into Syria yesterday. Fuck, they're going to be at war with them before the U.S. does. They won't have to come in and bail them out like we have for 100 years. But it's because you're not used to being accountable. I can already read the emails from you when you've been thrown out of the program begging for another chance. I got enough of those emails I could paste all the walls in this room like wallpaper, begging for another opportunity. There are no second chances, like Steve Jobs says before he died. And you're so used to just sliding by, even in the big corporate world. I mean, you've got a deadline, you don't meet it. They can't hardly fire you anymore. And you know that down deep inside, so why should I stay up all night? Why should I spend the weekend when I'd rather be playing tennis or playing golf? So you don't get it done. And that compounded times, not all 7 billion people have deadlines, they should, compounded, and that's why it takes still 3 to 5 weeks to do the due diligence on a $100 million deal. And before we had computers 40 years ago, it took 3 to 5 weeks to do the due diligence on a $100 million deal because there's no accountability. Unless you catch an employee fucking the cat in the fucking lunchroom, you can't fire anybody. They say, well, we're going to show you how you can. We're going to show you how you can. Which I'm called the butcher of the Philippines. Ambush, ambush, ran me. It's a TV program, an expose where they catch politicians taking bribes. Ambush, ambush, ran me down like a dog. Because the theory is, or the story, or the rumor is that I fired 1,100 people on Christmas Eve. Left starving babies. The only food they had was the milk and the saggy tits of their mothers. It's not quite accurate. I fired 117 people on the 7th of December. But now, 6, 7, 8 years later, I cut the babies' heads off and left them for dead on Christmas Eve. And I took the carcasses to the local Catholic church and left them there. I mean, that's the story now. I actually like that story. You know, I want my fucking legacy. In another 10, 20 years, it's going to be, I burned their children. You know, I stuck flaming torches up the woman's snatches. I mean, that, you know, in 1,000 years from now, when the aliens come to look at our remains, they're going to say, God, they had some mean fuckers down there. You know, who's this guy? Dan Peña. When I first moved here, they thought my name was Penasur. Penasr. Not Peña Sr. So I'm Lord Penasur. And you know, I got tired of correcting people. I don't give a shit what you call me. You can call me anything you want. But the kids didn't like it much. You know, here's Danny Jr. Penasur. You know, but okay, YouTube. No death threats yesterday. You're getting soft, YouTube. You're getting soft. I must be getting to you. Okay, bye, YouTube.